So yeah, that's what I did.
So we're starting.
We are starting. We are officially, supposedly live. I don't know if it has propagated yet. Does anybody know if it's propagated yet?
I don't know. I'm not.
It says live now, but it also says stream is offline.
Yeah, I don't
That'd be
hear
two
us.
things at once.
Am I you sure you're logged in as
Well,
Fearfic, right, Abysme? I'm not streaming to your channel.
No, I'm not logged in.
Okay.
Sorry, I did log into Fearfic to retrieve that key. So that should be yours. I mean, I'll go check to see if you're currently streaming as me right now, but I don't see it.
are you streaming as somebody else?
That's just a theory.
Try stream bits.
Stream. Try stream, Bix.
Bit.
Try buh.
Bah.
All right, let's see what we got for the
This is
stream
weird.
key here.
Hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, we are
Yes.
streaming.
Oh.
We're fucking streaming. You lied to me. Everybody
Like,
lied
are
to
we?
me. Yeah.
I don't even
no.
hear us though. Like I have the stream open just to
Um,
listen, and I don't even hear us.
YouTube may have fucked up the link or something. Maybe the link is not going to the right thing because we're live according to the panel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Let's be a bunch of boomers. Bunch of boomers don't know how to technology work. Boomers don't know how to. Yep. Okay, we're live. We're live. Everybody's live. Everybody's fine. They can hear us. They can hear us. It's fine. Everything's okay. We're fine. We're not late. We're not having a meltdown. Uncle Earl is not fucking the Christmas turkey. No, everything's fine.
Uncle Earl?
Uncle Earl.
Okay.
Uncle
That's
Earl,
what
the
we're going
new
with.
Fear Fiction podcast character.
I don't think, according to what people are saying, that we're
Okay,
I see somebody saying, "Oh hey, I can hear you guys." Anti-paradox.
So I think this is what happened.
Mm.
We opened up a different live stream because it's under a different title. It's just called the Fear Fiction channel live stream, not the Christmas one.
Well, what the? How does that make sense?
I don't even know, but we can just fix it now and rename it if we want to. We have it working.
You are our man on the street, Abysme. You are logged into the panel. You are.
Okay, I mean, log back in.
You are
again.
by default in charge of that bullshit. So yeah. So if you can hear us in the chat, type 1. If you can't hear us, type 2. And contract type 2 diabetes, please. I guess we have to tweet out the new link and everything too.
Yeah.
YouTube, you're really
just the
fun.
best.
You're really fun, YouTube.
yeah, a little frustrating.
Bloop. I tweeted it. I did the twit. Now I'm going to hit up Discord. Enjoy the stream as we notify everybody about the stream because YouTube has changed the stream link on us. And so the link to our very special Kwanzaa stream no longer works. Live
It's
now.
the most podcasty time of the year.
Oh, God. With YouTube fucking us, and YouTube fucking us, and YouTube fucking us. As usual.
Yeah, so that's always frustrating.
This is the first time I've seen this a particular glitch, though, so whatever.
I think I blame Abysme.
Probably.
Yeah.
I
Probably my
blame Susan Wojcicki.
Susan
That
Abysme?
too.
What do you think about...
She is my aunt.
Oh,
so-
really? Okay, cool.
I'll have some words with her at Christmas.
Yeah. When you... Okay, just do me a favor, reach across the table and just slap her one for me.
Just a firm slap.
Firm slap.
Hi, Aunt Susan. I have a message from Slime Beast. Slime what?
Yeah, exactly. Slap her again for not knowing who I am.
I've got messages from about 20 people, so you may want to get some ice.
Glove slap, baby. All right. So welcome to the Fear Fiction Holiday Podcast, the portmanteau of words I use therein.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be reading. Is it true that we're reading some holiday stories? And
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah. Hey.
DP has been drinking already. Abysme has been drinking already.
Yes.
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy.
I hope everyone has their cocoa ready.
So we have a question in chat. Abysme, is Susan Wojcicki the weird aunt that touched your no-no area that one time?
No, that's
Okay.
a different aunt.
Oh, okay. All right. So, so what are we doing, guys? You gotta liven up here. You gotta.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to like filter people out of the dead stream and into the live stream.
Boy, has YouTube invented the dead stream? That's just the theory. Opposite of the live stream.
Oh boy.
So yeah,
we
should
got
probably
two stories.
Two stories.
But we should wait for Dead Palette to finish shepherding everyone else into this live stream.
Let me see if I can.
Probably good.
Let me see if I can delete that event while we're going here. It says 15 are watching now, and it's like fucking shit. Really? I guess I can't delete it. I guess I can't.
Okay.
Wait a minute. A Very Fear Fiction Kwanzaa is now working, or did you just retitle
so
it?
I updated the title.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Honestly,
See,
I
what
think it made
happened
a second
was-
instance. So yeah.
What happened was.
What
All right.
happened?
I got them mixed up. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry that YouTube continually fucks up so badly.
Maybe we should move to Twitch. Just saying. Just saying.
For the live streams, that'd be okay, but
Yeah.
that'd be hard to get a. Well, no, you can just set up a channel live stream anytime you want, can't you?
Right,
You
right.
just- yeah, being a partner is the difficult one.
You can do anything you want on Twitch, unless it's banned.
Which is many things.
Yes. All right, so the Lolliet is stuck at work for another hour, so that sucks.
We're just gonna wait
suggest
for him.
quitting.
Don't worry, guys.
Yeah,
We're gonna wait. So, everybody get comfortable. About 11 o'clock, we'll start reading.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
So for real though, does anyone have their hot cocos and blankets ready? They got their blankies out.
Press 1 in the chat if you have hot cocoa. Press 2 if you have a blankie. Press 3 if you have both in the chat, please.
And press 4 if you spill your hot cocoa on your blankie.
Right. Press 5 if you spilled your hot cocoa while pressing 1, 2, 3, or 4. Oh, big! Oh, wow. We got a spiller.
Oh no.
Spiller in the chat. Bagel goose. We got 3 spillers. Everybody wants to be cool. Everybody wants to be a spiller.
Hey guys, spilling is a cool thing to do.
Take a drink, pour it all over your keyboard.
First there was planking, then there was dabbing. Now spilling things. All right. Anyway, so
I'm making rain hot cocoa on my blankie.
hot cocoa on my blankie. Is that that sounds like
Hot cocoa on my blankie. Hot cocoa on my blankie. I can't get enough hot cocoa on my
Boom,
blankie.
psh, boom, boom, psh.
lovely.
I was just spilling like a villain. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is the audio playing? I might have to opt out of this. The net is spotty as a Dalmatian down where I'm at right now. Man, that's unfortunate.
Don't worry,
Audio
Bryant. There
is-
will be a recording. These automatically upload to YouTube after the stream ends, so you can catch up then.
Yeah, just skip ahead 10 minutes and the fucking well, I guess if
Yeah.
you're listening to this, you've already.
I like how he says, "Is the audio playing?" and you guys proceed to talk to him in audio.
Oh, good point.
Hey, if you can't
Alright.
hear us.
Press 6 if you can't hear us.
Mhm.
Hey, Dead Palette, do I have to send you an Abysme furry porn like I did when you guys started the Halloween stream? Go for it. I'm fine with
Only on one condition, and that it be holiday themed.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Drop a big like on this video if you remember our Halloween scream. Where we
it
all
was,
just
it was an
screamed
hour of
for
us
two-
just
yeah.
screaming.
It was not a lost episode. We're just fuckheads. Yeah. So we have a story to read. I don't know if we want to get started soon or if we want to take questions and answers. We'll take both questions and answers. You can answer your own questions in chat.
We will take questions as we read, just as we can answer them. But we'll definitely pause, probably in between this story and the next one, if we can get to the next one for a little Q&A.
Sounds
yeah,
like a good idea.
Our first story was picked out by me.
Icy Dice.
Icy Dice wrote it.
Picked out by Icy Dice.
What do I do if I want to send you a story of mine to critique? The best way is to put it in a Too Spooky critique section and then ping us on Twitter or in Discord or some social media site, and then we can go check it out.
What you need to do is print out your story, fold it up really nice and small, put it in your shoe, kick a homeless person to death, go to prison, get executed, have the letter in your affairs, have the executor of your will give the story to Abysme. That's the only way he'll accept it.
And there's many Abysmes out there, so to make sure that you find the right one, make sure that you specify it's the one who is a lawyer.
God damn it.
I can hear. I can't.
Can hear
anything.
Can
hear any. Can hear anything they were saying. My connection is too shit. Are they reading Slime Beast's DMCA's?
DMCA. It's fun to file a DMCA. Somebody take that out of context.
Have you considered going over to the little speaker icon and turning up the sound?
Have you considered going over to the little man across the street and kicking him to death?
Have you considered going down to that subscribe button and clicking that bell and then kicking that homeless person to death and then using their blood to draw a pentagram on the ground and summon Susan Wojcicki?
Oof.
Oh, I like it.
Can we stop? Can we stop right now to acknowledge the advances demons have made in representation in media?
It's progress I can get behind.
Yeah.
For anyone having problems with the stream, try refreshing. The fact that we fucking had like 2 different streams at the same time is not helping matters, I'm sure. Oh god. When did you get home?
Oh, somebody's in trouble.
A little bit of a domestic. I'm
It's
already
probably
getting
not even home.
I'm already getting reindeer porn sent to me.
All right. Reindeer porn.
Oh.
Actual reindeers or cartoon reindeer porn?
Oh, there's some reindeer games going on.
Don't worry, Frosted Mini Fears. I'm going to click show on your message. Your auto-filtered message. There.
Oh my god. Okay. What are the things being sent to me?
Gotta be careful when you say yes to furry porn. Gotta be careful.
When you ride with furry porn, you ride with Hitler.
Sure. Okay, why not?
Okay, so Aiden Ginty has a question. Are we about to see the Fortnite guy who beat his wife, but it's going to be Abysme?
Who's the Fortnite guy who beat his wife?
Ninja?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Ninja won't be seen on stream with other women because he fears allegations that he's beating people other than his wife.
Oh, God. Oh.
Oh, it made myself happy.
Yeah. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. May your home be free of domestic violence.
We just made disparaging comments about Susan Wojcicki and Ninja. This stream's gonna be fucking tanked so fast after it posts.
We made we made comments about Susan Wojcicki and Ninja, 2 YouTube icons apparently.
But
yeah,
I guess
So
Oh man. Okay. So let's actually read a story.
we have
Yeah,
a
let's
story
do that.
here. I don't know. It's called My
It was
Christmas
night-
Tale. It's
It
spelled
was
T.
an
Oh, go ahead.
it was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a noise could be heard. Not even Ninja beating his wife.
Well, he is a ninja. He does it silently. he just go.
Yeah, good point.
He just. It's like those scenes in anime where he just speeds by her really fast and nothing happens for a moment, but then a big shiner grows on her face.
Nothing personal, kid.
Yeah. Oh god, I don't even know if Ninja has a girlfriend or a wife. So I mean, I would imagine being a Twitch celebrity,
does.
he probably has a hand-selected girlfriend from like the Ukraine or something. But
Sounds about right. Yeah, this is My Christmas Tale. I wrote it, no one else.
My Christmas Tale, Tale, not Tail. All you furries, don't get too excited. But yeah.
Why are so many of our fans like furries? I don't get it.
I think that being a furry is like the new black. I don't know. Orange is the new black.
What the fuck?
Orange is the new black. Fursuits are the new black. I don't know. It's fashionable.
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, not the other way you were thinking.
Orange tabby is the new black.
Yes, there you go.
Okay, reading order. Let's just do our usual. That'll be Brandon, myself, then Slime Beast.
For anybody who doesn't know, Brandon is Dead Ballot.
Oh,
It's a better name than Chris.
God
yeah,
damn
it
it.
is.
The snow.
He's right though. He's right.
Ouch.
Yeah, I really am. How delicate and unique each flake of cold white substance can be. The children will dash through it, flinging it left and right among each other. They will lay down and stretch their arms and legs in all directions, attempting to create a beautiful angel for all to see.
Jeez.
Then, of course, there are others who build snowmen, their laughter filling the frosty air as they partake in a multitude of holiday activities. How I envy those who enjoy the Christmas spirit. I had never actually seen such festivities occur. Rather, I would hear about them through tales my father would tell of good boys and girls who truly valued what it meant to celebrate Christmas.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Zuckerberg's holiday card. I never fully understood these other boys and girls, but my father would tell me.
This story will be a recounting of an experience I had as a young boy. After finding myself away from my childhood home and actually close to civilization, I began taking the time to recollect a few memories from my past. Between strange occurrences I couldn't explain back then, and one freakish moment I experienced at that point in time, I suppose this will act as a warning to you.
Bum bum bum. I'm in before it turns out the narrator is Jesus. My father would tell me about Christmas celebrations. I was like, what? Do they not remember the whole thing? I don't know.
Everyone's gonna celebrate your birthday.
Yeah.
But my birthday's nothing special. Oh no. You'll see.
Oh my god, imagine. Okay, guys, imagine you personally, your family throws a birthday party. All your friends come, etc. and so forth. They all get there and they all ignore you as some fat guy in a red suit shows up and they're all like lavishing him with praise and he's like, "Oh, hey everybody. It's me again." And they're like, "Cool. This is what Brandon's birthday is all about."
Man, what if God was a furry?
Anyway, I truly want to help you. Maybe God is a furry. That would explain a
He
lot.
made a lot more furry, mammals than humans, so yeah.
He was like, shit, I was really pulling for like the tigers to be the apex species, but humans somehow nudged it out with their stupid fucking thumbs.
What if God is a furry who was really into monkeys? And we're like the
Primates.
weird deviant art monkeys that,
Yeah.
I truly want to help you. And this is okay.
God being a furry would explain the whole alpha and omega thing.
God damn it.
Good one, Gavin.
I truly want to help you, and this is perhaps the best way I can spread the word around about what I have discovered about the holidays without him finding out. I need to be discreet about this. Although I have traveled as far away from my old home as I could, I know for a fact that he's still out there, and that he can find me. Now, Icy Dice, this better not be a faceless, tall, pale man in a Santa suit.
And it better be Krampus.
Yeah, Krampus. It better be Krampus Simpson. I don't want to risk it, so maybe if a few people who see this help me spread it around, I won't have to worry about the consequences of my actions. That's okay. Usually not what we do on this channel, but it's the best I can hope for, I suppose. Even still, I have to live the life of a nomad, never once being able to stop and catch my breath. Doing so would be too dangerous, so it is imperative I get this out soon. Now, since I've finished my introduction, I suppose it's time to release the something I've been holding back for quite some time now. I can only hope that I make any sort of difference by doing this. So yeah,
Okay.
he released gas, because that's funny.
Poopy farts.
Mm-hmm.
This is there's a lot of what's the term I'm looking for?
Spaghetti.
It's not
Foreplay?
Yeah, there's a lot of like trying to be coy about what this is about. 3 big ass paragraphs, and I have no idea what's going on. I do want to say this. I need to plug.
Preamble. That's what it is.
Yeah, I need to plug this real quick. This Twitter post. Everyone go there. I'm trying to prove a point. Everyone just please if you would.
Phantom Necromancer says my audio is doubled for some reason. Yeah, check to make sure.
Yeah, check to make sure. Go to.
Yeah, check to make sure to go to. Okay.
See if you have another tab open with the stream playing, and if not, just reload the page. Maybe it's just fucked up somehow. But yeah.
I can say this though, like my childhood was a strange one. But should we go back to reading the story?
It probably was really strange being named Brandon. Sounds like a type of granola. I don't know.
You just go. It's just like a classroom of 3rd graders, and every boy is named Chris except for one named Brandon.
I bet that's happened at some point.
No, that shit's canon. That shit's true.
Yeah.
Okay. My childhood was a strange one.
When December would come, I found myself locked inside my house. My father and I didn't adorn the halls with stockings or decorations, nor did we erect a Christmas tree in our living room.
We just put out the holiday bowl of ginger ale that all Mormons do.
Yes.
We left several bowls for Mormon Santa. Who would Mormon Santa be?
Mormon Santa?
He's
Mitt Romney? I don't know.
Mormon Santa is just Santa, but instead he's just a little more lean, and all the red is replaced with beige.
Doesn't come down your chimney, just knocks on your door politely and leaves a gift basket.
Elder Santa is here.
Elder Nicholas.
Elder Nicholas.
Elder Nicholas, yes.
You better be good. You better be good. Don't be a bad Mormon. Elder Nicholas is coming to your house and will knock on your door because he doesn't come down the chimney, because that's the improper way of getting into a house.
And leading his sleigh, 8 tiny brides. On Linda, on Sharon, on Susan and Sarah.
On Constance, on Liberty, on...
Bam Majera. Wait, what? That's the rhyme, so...
It was a late life conversion.
Late life conversion on 2 levels, but yeah.
The fireplace
everybody,
was...
please like the stream if you want Bam Margera to turn his life around.
Yes.
It's time.
Oh, God.
Okay.
And with all our encouragement, we can get him back on the right track.
Crabcake says Mormon Santa is like the family that gives out toothbrushes and apples on Halloween. True.
Pretty much.
All you
The
get is
fireplace
new
was-
underwear.
Gonna fucking kill all of you. The fireplace was constantly extinguished, robbing me of the comfort I desired. Each night I would curl up in bed, trembling as the cold air ran across my body, and I stared up at the ceiling, my mind completely blank. Yes, it was as bad as it sounds. No, I didn't mind how rough things could get. There always seemed to be an innocent part of me that didn't mind the way I lived my life, no matter how barren the house could be during all times of the year. So his dad's shut-in or like isolated or something. Maybe he's the monster and he doesn't want the kid to get out or something.
What if your dad was Krampus?
Maybe.
Krampus Jr. coming to theaters this summer. Don't get me wrong. My father was very good to me. Then he's not Krampus. I can't recall a day he didn't show me
Are you
his
saying
big...
Krampus is a bad guy?
I'm saying that Krampus probably wouldn't be nice to a kid.
What if
Only
he-
the bad ones.
Only the bad ones.
Yeah.
Well, I
You
mean,
don't have...
what kid isn't bad? They're all
Krampus's son, Gunfernickel.
Gunther Nickel.
I can't claim that that's in an episode of Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell, and that's one of the better representations of Krampus. It's fucking hilarious.
Fine. Don't get me wrong, my father was very good to me. I can't recall a day he didn't show me his big, wide smile and treat me as best he could. So now I'm trying to decipher something. You know, like I'm trying to get ahead of the story. His big, wide smile. So I'm like thinking, is he a skeleton? Is he a skull? I don't know. My dad the skull.
Can we have
My dad, the floating skull.
Hello, son. How was school today?
Can we have Mormon Krampus? Mormon Krampus would just be like the best party animal, I imagine. He visits kids and gives them like coffee and alcohol and shit.
I'm just picturing Mormon Krampus trying to be mean and being like, I guess I could take this ginger ale, I guess. I don't know. Not really much I can... I don't know.
Instead of giving you coal, he just gives you a few hickory sticks. Puts hickory sticks in your Mormon socks.
Puts them in your bowl of ginger ale. He took care of me, fed me well, and was a good parent overall. He was a rather portly fellow, Santa, but a kind man nonetheless. The only issue is he wasn't a big fan of the holidays. It made for a very bleak life around the winter time, especially. It confused me as to why he would tell me about how the other children had such a great time. I often thought he did it to make a bit of fun, or that perhaps he was just pulling my leg. I had never seen the things he described to me after all, so it would make sense that maybe they were just stories. I could see that if somebody said to you, yeah, there's a bunch of kids outside falling down in snow and moving their legs back and forth. Like, okay, that makes no sense.
Look at the poor saps.
Yeah. They're kids outside. They got like sheets of metal and they're falling down hills on them, you know?
Sounds awful.
Yeah.
I really found it strange that we didn't live remotely near anybody else. Yeah, this is Santa's son.
Okay.
Yeah. Our small wooden hut was located high in the mountains where the slopes would be treacherous for anyone ascending or descending the terrain. Perhaps even if I had wanted to see the outside world, I wouldn't have been able to. It would have been impossible for me to climb up or down the rugged area, let alone at such a young age. Because of the sheer height of the mountains where we lived, the air was thin and the wind blew fiercely, and the most I ever saw of the outside world was through the window. My father said we didn't always live there. He said we had a home somewhere down below where the other people lived, but we were in his vacation home, as he put it. I lived in another house before then.
I think it says I had lived in any other house. I think it's supposed to be hadn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. it was a rather odd vacation, to say the least.
So here's my thought. Maybe this isn't Santa and his son. Maybe this is a story told by Max the dog from The Grinch.
I was starting to think the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
My dad.
Yeah. Wide smile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
My
I
father
can
was
see
nice, even though there was a constant echoing din about him being a mean one.
There's this weird man with a low voice constantly just disparaging my father.
Your father's a shitbag. Like, stop. I can see you in the shower. You're touching things you shouldn't.
How would the Grinch fare on social media?
Depends what site, I guess.
He'd have a very devoted following that loved all his shit posting and just abrasive behavior.
I mean, if it's Twitter, you know, like he never really was like a hugely controversial figure. He just hates Christmas, which is pretty much all of Twitter anyway. Everybody's like, "Oh, this time of year when everybody's got to get drunk with their terrible, ugly family." Am I right, everyone? So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he would. Grinch would be pretty popular in the war on Christmas.
Mm-hmm. He'd be its
Anyway.
champion.
What?
Anyway. So, who is this now? Abysme?
I think it's me. Yeah. While my father stayed inside with me, we would play board games and create drawings together. Those and various other indoor activities would teach me about the outside world and what it was like. However, my favorite memories of my father were the stories he would tell me. As mentioned prior, he would tell me of his experiences with that which dwelled under the mountain and across the world. Ooh. Yeah, I think this is Max the dog. It's getting really close. His various interactions with such people piqued my curiosity, and upon my request to learn more, he would bring me books and magazines. Those sources were my first true contact with society, and I'd spend hours at a time reading.
Here's a magazine. It's called Who's Who in Whoville.
Oh, God. That worked too well. It kept me busy, and despite the lack of holiday cheer in my life, I was content.
So... But I am out of it. I'm just trying to interpret. Are we getting trolled hardcore right now?
Possibly.
I think we're getting trolled.
Trolling hard. Core. As each December came, my father would start spending less time with me. I was trying to say less and less, but it's not there. Less time with me and more time in his private office.
People make time for your dogs.
Yeah. I only ever saw him carrying a large list of what appeared to be names on a sheet. Okay, so I feel like this has to be leading us to think it's Santa, and at the end the twist is going to be it's not. It's something where all these things make sense for somebody else or someone doing something else.
Yeah, I don't know who it could be.
It's Schindler. Okay. What appeared to be names on a sheet.
I've never seen the movie. Is Schindler a good guy or a bad guy?
Yes.
He's a complex figure.
Well,
I mean,
it isn't. It's not complex, but it's an arc for sure.
Yeah. And then he would vanish for lengthy periods of time.
He's a Tim Allen.
Schindler should work at fucking BuzzFeed.
Top 10.
And Jews.
That work in my factory.
Oof.
Top 10 Jews. Do you want to be on this list or not on this list?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, I would like to see Tim Allen in a remake of Schindler's List. First we load
we're shutting down your factory.
Yeah. Exactly. You fucking stole it. Good news, we've saved all the people on your list. But yeah. I only ever saw him carrying a large list of what appeared to be names on a sheet, and then he would vanish for lengthy periods of time. I always wondered what he did up there, but he never took the time to explain. He always brushed off my questions or dismissed them with a single, "You'll understand when you're older, kiddo." I never found myself content with those answers, and in a time where I wanted to learn, that lack of knowing the truth bothered me a lot. For years I felt as if my thirst for knowledge would remain unquenched, for the simple reason that I hadn't a clue what my father did. After mischievously trying to sneak into his office one night while he slept, I found that the door was locked, and I never found the key. Some elves blocked me from the door and asked what I was doing. They shoved me to the floor and kicked me.
So it's like the opening part of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, that's not
go
the
there.
story. With my determination fleeting, I decided to just mind my own business and let it be. Okay. That's what you should have done from the beginning, you nosy brat.
Let it be, let it be. Don't open that door. Stay inside. Don't learn anything. Just keep reading the magazines. Is this all about Donald Trump's son, Barron? Possibly.
Yes.
Maybe.
I got a list here. It's of people to replace the people who quit.
I'm really changing it every day.
I'm really excited for the anime convention next month because I'm going to be cosplaying Baron Trump. We got several years.
How are you going to be cosplaying Baron Trump? What does that costume entail? I'm putting you on the spot.
I'm gonna be wearing a little suit. I'm gonna slick my hair over, and then I'm gonna walk around with really badly drawn hentai drawings with women with giant tits.
Okay.
Have you seen his hentai drawings?
No.
Are you familiar with this? Baron Trump is a little hentai artist.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like I don't know how it got out, but like people found like his art, and it's just all women with giant tits.
At least he's not a furry.
Yet.
Yeah. If we go to Fur Affinity, I don't know if we'll find an account named Badger Trump or what.
No, you're going to eventually find out that Donald Trump is a juggalo furry. He's going to take his hat off. He's like, "Don't ruin this for me.
Don't ruin this for me. I'm Donald Trump." Well, you want to get cut, do you? Crikey.
Several years of the same pattern would come and go, and I was fine with that at first. However, I was not fine with the repetitive, quite frankly, monotonous routine. I had read all my books, perfected all my art.
It is Baron Trump.
Oh my God.
And got it to the point where my father would be retelling the same old stories. I grew tired of these tedious rituals, and thus my curiosity sparked once more. I mean, Baron Trump, the dog from How the Grinch Stole Christmas, it's basically the same thing.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, man.
You just put a little antler on Baron Trump. It had been years since I learned about the existence of my father's office. I thought that perhaps I was old enough to handle what was inside. You could imagine my dismay upon being denied my request to enter the room. I had never asked the man. I must have asked the man several times a month. Still, with his everlasting patience, he would respond with a simple no each time.
He would say it 3 times. No, 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 he would say to me.
No, can't go in. No, get the fuck away.
I
read some books.
Read the same books.
Don't
Keep
go
reading that
outside.
book.
Freeze to death. So this is like one half. It's obviously, I feel like it's trolling us, but it's obviously like one half Mr. Widemouth and then another half Tangled.
Yeah.
You mean Frozen?
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
more Tangled.
Let my hair grow out. The comb never bothered me anyway.
Do you want to build a snowman? We're not allowed to build snowmen.
Do you want to wield a frying pan?
Split ends never bothered me anyway.
Oof.
With all of this information out of the way, I think it's time I introduce you to something my father would do that would eventually cause my curiosity to spill over. It's a lot of just something's gonna happen.
You
Something's
think?
constantly gonna happen, and it never happens. And it's starting to annoy me a little bit. You see,
Because the story is built around like withholding information, like
Mhm.
adjusting the context, the frame of reference, and so they're playing with that, but they're playing with it way too much.
Yeah, the last paragraph could have been one sentence of, as I got older, my patience started to dwindle, and boom,
I
done.
mean, if there's one thing we know here on the Fiction podcast, it's playing with it way too much.
Mhm. You see, every night on December 24th, he would open the front door, a large brown bag slung over
Get
his
on the
shoulder.
floor.
He was a dinosaur. He'd wave goodbye to me with a jolly grin on his nothing. I'm guessing face. He'd release a cheerful laugh before closing the door and locking it behind him, making his merry way down the mountain with inhuman speed and skill before disappearing into the night. The following day, he would come back exhausted. After taking his bag to his office, he would then sleep for most of the day.
Okay, this has to be... It can't be Santa, because we're being led to believe it's Santa so hardcore.
Yeah.
Santa core is my favorite genre of music.
Core. God damn it.
Santa was Freddy Freaker. Nah, can't be because he can't move his arms, so he wouldn't be able to hold a bag.
Well, he just holds it out at his side.
Awkwardly tries to move through a door.
If you add Jingle Bells to any song, it automatically becomes Jingle Core.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
All right. I may have been an ignorant child, but I wasn't stupid. I mean, technically, true.
Yeah.
All the books I had read, all the stories I had heard, they connected like puzzle pieces together within my young brain. The lists, the 24th of December, the brown sack. By the way, that's my least favorite superhero.
Well, according to Nick Onder, a brown sack is coming out of his butthole right now.
Oh, God. All right, well, I hope that the cartel enjoys their cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
I smiled ear to ear as a realization came to my mind. I knew then more than ever that I had to find out what was in his office, so I formulated a devious plan within my mind and decided it was worth a shot. I knocked my father out, took the key.
Where are we?
After a few hours of waiting.
Oh, okay. After a few hours of waiting, I saw the sun begin to rise over the horizon. The snow had ceased on the mountain.
The sun ceased.
We all died. The end.
The sun ceased, as it did every day at a certain time.
Daddy, why does the sun die? Oh, you're dumb.
Don't tempt me to make another sun die.
Good heavens. And the morning was a calm one indeed. I struggled to keep my eyes open. I waited all night for my father to return, like most kids do, waiting for Santa. And I didn't want to quit. Not then, when I was so close. After much waiting, I felt my body begin to relax. I fought with all my strength to keep my eyes open, and right before I drifted into a sound sleep, I heard the front door open. I perked my head up and fixated my eyes on the shape of my father stepping through the doorway. He looked surprised to see me up so early, but he flashed the same warm smile he always did and rubbed my head gently. As expected, he ascended the stairs and opened the office door. He told me to wait outside and to not look in, and I obliged.
Okay, it might be Max the dog again. Because I was thinking about, I asked him, well, no, because drawing and reading books, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe game theory. Is Max actually in a fursuit? Is he a little boy in a suit?
As he exited the room and closed the door, I stopped him before he could lock it with his key. I quickly grabbed his arm and pulled him downstairs. He tugged back towards the door in protest, but I was persistent, and he eventually sighed and followed me willingly. I led him to the kitchen where a fresh bowl of cereal awaited him.
I would have said cookies and milk, but okay.
Yeah. He smiled and thanked me before digging in, frantically eating the oats and drinking his milk. He eyed me as he ate, and I caught him looking at the stairwell, which went to his office quite a few times. After he finished his cereal, he wiped his mouth with his sleeve and got up. I could see the bags under his eyes, and the dead expression on his face. With a single yawn, he went to his room and fell asleep in bed. My plan had succeeded.
Uh-huh.
Did he drug his father? Did he put Rufalin in the oatmeal?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't even want to think about who this character is now.
Did he Cosby his dad's oats?
Hey, I'm getting in your office today.
Now, you see, if you're going to have a closed door, I'm going to have to drug your cereal.
God damn it.
Oh, Christ.
Your Honor, can I have my client's statement stricken from the record? He's clearly not in his right mind. Up on the rooftop, got a brown sack. What? What? I steadily made my way up the stairs and found myself in front of the office. Sweat pooled in my pants. No, in my palms.
The office. Anybody? Yeah.
See. Oh, this is a young Dwight Schrute. Sweat pooled in my palms and spaghetti on my sweater and weak arms as I gripped the doorknob before me.
Oh, doorknobs. Man, we're just putting all the memes into this sentence.
Jesus.
Right.
Years of waiting and curiosity would be satisfied, and the mystery would finally be solved. I snickered softly.
What was it like? What was it like to grasp a big black doorknob?
Finally, I knew. Oh, I snickered softly. Finally, a little action. A vacation from the curiosity which had plagued me for so long. I trembled in excitement, and I pushed the door open and entered. A single desk stood in the middle of the room, and I gotta show whatever this message is that's been hidden. Opened the door and entered. Single desk stood in the middle of the room, and the brown bag sat on top of it. I slowly approached the desk, placing my hands on the bag. With one swift motion, I opened it and poked my head inside. To my surprise, its contents weren't exactly what I expected. In before it's dead people?
Probably not.
What I saw in the bag left me scratching my head in confusion. In conclusion, in confusion. Instead of what I thought would be there, I found what seemed to be random objects at the time.
I was disappointed with my findings, and I carefully made sure to exit the door and close it behind, certain that I'd covered my tracks well. I never spoke a word of that experience to my father for fear of getting in trouble. I found myself chuckling a few times at how underwhelmed I was. I was expecting something far greater, only to find a strange assortment of items inside the bag. Perhaps I laughed to distract myself from the truth of what I saw, but I convinced myself that my dad was nobody special all along, and although it was still a mystery to me, what he did those nights, I never thought more of it.
Alright, so I've been...
What's all this random stuff in this bag? An Xbox One? Who would want that? A copy of Fallout 76?
What is it, the Phase? Is that the other console system that was made by Soulja Boy? I don't know. Is it called Phase? I don't remember.
The new one? I think so, yeah.
It wasn't until I got... See, I've been purposefully trying so hard not to read ahead, because I'm...
Same.
The story so far has been successful in making me wonder what the fuck. And I really want to find out what the fuck.
Let's do it.
It wasn't until I got much older and finally moved out of that house that I began thinking about what I found that day and what it truly meant. My father was the Grinch, and I am Max the dog. God damn it! We knew it. No. My father never hurt me, but I fear what may become of me by releasing this information. Perhaps... What?
What?
What? What? Perhaps he is still out there, doing what he does best. I only hope this information being released can help someone out there, and maybe it can help me organize my thoughts and help me get some sleep at night. Believe me, okay, tell us already. I understand you want to drag, you want to pull it out so we get the reveal, but by now we could know. We could know. Believe me, I haven't gotten enough rest since I discovered what was really going on. The part of the Christmas holiday they don't tell you. Would you say memes? Did somebody just say memes for no reason?
No, it's been years.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I haven't been able to get rest. It's like, well, it's been years. What do you...
I thought you said memes. I was like, oh, it's a bag of memes. Maybe I fear that I will become like him.
Fire my laser.
An assortment of random objects. A small deformed knuckles doll. I don't know. Maybe I fear that I will become like him someday. That it is my predetermined fate to do as he did. I'm not certain, but all I know is this. He is my father. He is the reason I fear for my safety by writing this. I will never forget what I found in that brown bag of his, for it all becomes clear to me now. Hurry the fuck up and read this, DP.
Is being Santa Claus like being the Black Panther, or being it's like a title that's passed down?
Yes. It's like being the Black Panther. You have to safeguard the North Pole from outsiders because they want to
keep your children in squalor lest they be, spoiled. I don't know.
So read it, DP.
I saw chains, coal,
fucking called it.
Birch branches, rope, and a branding iron.
Called it.
And a bottle of Rufalin. Each one had been used the previous night, and several children's-sized shoes were also contained within the sack. All of them charred beyond repair.
Krampus's baby. It's baby Krampus.
Yeah.
I think that this is not bad. I think because we were trying to guess the outcome, we kind of put a lot on it. I think,
yeah, but it also really encourages that in the reader. So I feel like it could be a third shorter.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. If it was a bit shorter and played up even more the idea of the kid thinking his dad is Santa, I finally realized why it was, and I realized that blah blah blah. It sort of is like the way it's framed. That we're being fed like misleading information.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how could go about being the other way around, but something where.
What if the story was open about the fact that it's Santa Claus and then it turns out that it's Krampus?
Right.
Could do.
Because I mean, you could put in things you could put in heavy-handed things like my father stroked his beard and winked at me, and you'd be immediately picturing a Santa beard, not a goat beard.
Precisely.
And
I really do appreciate that it is written about Krampus. That's a fun Christmas horror thing to do. It's the Christmas horror thing to do, and it's not easy. But yeah, perfectly written it's written fine. It just could use some paring down.
I really want to see a follow-up story where Krampus Jr. is trying to fit in with regular folk, like in a town or city. And it's like, the one kid at school who's already got facial hair,
You can't go to high school, Gunvinical. They'll know.
Oh, is that actually a thing?
No.
Oh, okay. But yeah.
We don't know what you're stealing now.
Santa's Sex Dungeon. Interesting. Phantom Necromancer. I didn't read the lead up to that, but that is an interesting statement.
Getting some real good furry porn right now. Much appreciated.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I have to say about this. Miles Morales is my favorite Santa. I like that comment. Yeah. Into the Santaverse.
Jesus. I would watch that, Into the Santaverse.
I would watch that.
All the different Santas from different folklore. There's just the Coca-Cola Santa, and he's just constantly saying, "Boy, this is a real tough thing that we're going through here. Maybe we should all relax with a Coca-Cola. Like, stop.
He's got diabetes.
Yes.
He doesn't have reindeer. He just has the polar bears.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. There's a little kid who doesn't believe in Christmas anymore. All the Santas have to unite to convince him that Santa is real and the holiday is special. What can we get him that'll change his mind? How about a 6-pack of Coca-Cola? Oh, fuck.
I got cases of this stuff.
Dude,
doesn't even have a sleigh, just has like a fucking Coca-Cola semi-truck with the trailer. Just drives that around.
Santa, why is one can missing from the 6-pack of Coca-Cola you brought?
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
He just, every time he goes into a house, he's putting all the presents up and everything, and he just like goes over to the glass of milk and just like cracks open a Coke. He's just like, and then starts pouring it into the milk while drinking the milk.
Yeah.
Until it replaces the milk, and he starts dunking the cookies into the cola.
Coke nog.
How much did I miss? Ryuk? We just finished the first story, so you're about, I guess, halfway through. Question, anyone here know the reason no one really leaves feedback on the criticism section of the Too Spooky site? Just lack of traffic, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, too, of the people that are there, like myself included, one of the reasons I don't do it is because I'm like, who am I to criticize? But, I think that's a thing that people get kind of stuck in is, well, I don't want to criticize this, and,
I want to, and I did for a while. Unfortunately, I just have not had a lot of time. What free time I've had has to be spent on other personal shit right now. But hopefully after all that blows over, I'll be able to make the rounds on there more often. And again, if anyone wants me to critique their story, just ping me, and I'll be much more likely to set aside a few minutes to do so.
And if you don't want to ping him, you know how to get stories to him. Fold them up in your shoe.
Dress it up as furry porn.
Here's a discussion topic: is DP a twink?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I'm definitely not a twink.
Features aren't soft enough.
DP is more of a ding dong, or a ho ho.
Yes. More like a snowball.
Yeah, I was gonna say a snowball. There you go.
You guys should read Search and Rescue.
Oof.
Oh.
Oof.
Fuck that story.
Also, does DP and Abysme have secret furry porn folders that we don't know about? And are we fueling their addictions? I definitely don't. I
don't.
I just have my pharmacy folder.
Yeah, I don't.
Which is close to 2,000 pictures now.
Jesus. I have chat logs where all this shit's kept anyway, so no real reason to keep a folder.
Is DP sporting a beard? I am sporting a beard because I shaved it off. I just grow it back in like a day.
So it's a complicated issue. DP is sporting a beard, but it is not on his face.
Mm-hmm.
It's on my elbows.
He has one side of a handlebar mustache on each elbow.
It's all about the game and how you play it. Oh
man,
just Abysme, yeah.
What I am doing
no.
For Christmas, I'm going down to Chillicothe with Chelsea and getting
chili coffee
pizza.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
I'm also getting coffee at Krispy Kreme donut shop down there. Yeah.
So if you want to know where DP is going to be, for any reason, that's where.
Harass him.
Pelt him with snowballs, not actual snowballs, but the snack cake.
Yes.
Criticize Overwatch in front of him.
Yeah.
Talk down pharmacy.
You can't talk. You can't. That's such obvious trolling.
Okay.
Like, who would hate pharmacy?
I need 2 people out there to put in the work to cosplay Mercy and Farah. Go to where DP is and break up in front of him.
No, that's part of the emotional, like, I want that. I want to see the hiccups in their relationship.
That
because
is
it's going to
something
make
I
them...
wish we could see at comic conventions or just like any place that people cosplay. I actually want to see people act this shit out instead of just posing for pictures. That would be taking it to the next level.
I don't want to see that because that sounds really cringy.
Wouldn't that require
fair.
that the cosplayers know about the characters and stories?
Ooh. Sick burn.
There was a Brigitte porn cosplayer who was like, "Don't tell Daddy Reinhardt about this," and then people just like en masse left the stream because she didn't know the lore.
Don't tell Daddy Reinhardt. Well, I mean, technically that could be what she would say.
Yeah.
I mean, if she doesn't mean daddy literally, I mean, you know.
Yeah. God.
Oh, man. Nick Under, why?
Oh boy.
So yeah, if anybody has any questions for DP about his twink status, DP, would you
Yes.
say that you were a twink up until a certain point?
No, I've always been a pretty hairy boy.
Okay, I didn't know if
Yeah.
you were a twink and now you're a twunk or whatever the past
No.
tense would be.
No, a twonk is just like a hunky twink.
Oh, I see. I see.
Like I guess I'm closer to that.
What's a twank?
Well, I don't even know where we're using this gay terminology to describe me.
Is a twank just the twink who's not in a relationship?
A twank is your ex-twink, but then what's a twonk?
I see. I see.
I don't know.
What's a twat? A twat is something not liked by twinks, twonks, or twines.
Twines.
Twine?
Yes.
That's a
Twines
twink
are-
that's into bondage.
Yeah, I was gonna say twines are twinks who like to be tied up, of course.
Yes.
Boy, this is very easy to understand. This is very... All right. So,
This is our. Hey everyone! Thanks for tuning in to our video detailing twink terminology.
I thought you were going to say, hey, Jeff from the Overwatch team here. We're adding a new hero, Twink, and we think you're going to really love the way he feels.
Twink the twink twonk.
Playing Twink will feel very smooth.
Very flexible.
All of his skins involve different types of shoes.
All of his skins are very smooth.
Oof.
All right,
He has,
do we want
golden,
to do
he has golden socks he can take off.
slowly in front of you?
Golden socks. They don't have a kicking hero. They don't have a hero that kicks people. They should
Yeah,
add
rubber
that.
due for that.
Yeah. What would the character's name be?
Hero legs.
Hero Legs! Hey everybody, Jeff from the Overwatch team here. We're introducing Hero Legs. It's going to be our 53rd hero. We've kind of run out of ideas.
He's a hero that is just he's just two pairs of robotic legs.
It's
One on top of the other.
during the Omnic crisis, he was made at the factory, and they kind of fucked up.
They should. Someone bombed the factory, and halfway through production, it just stopped. And they just ran off.
Oh man.
Kick your pants.
His passive is that he can leave spawn early by getting a foot in the door. All right.
He has. Well, no. Okay, so it's a character that's made of 4 feet. That is more than 4 feet. He's 8 feet tall, but he's 4 feet, and it's 2 legs going up, and then a midsection, 2 legs going down.
Right.
And then like some feet have different abilities. Like 2 feet have jet boots. So if those are the feet that are down, you can like fly around. And then the other feet are like quicker. And like you have 1 foot that does healing, and then 1 foot that does damage.
So I would propose maybe a bit of a change there. 1 foot has a jet boot.
Yeah.
You just kind of go in
Only
circles.
one.
And I think that the healing and damage feat should do healing or damage when you sniff them.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be terrible? Wouldn't that be embarrassing? Oh no. But yeah. So
oh boy.
yeah, so now that we've gone off on this tangent that is most like all of our other tangents, do you guys have the other story up that we might possibly read? I don't know. Do you think
I
it's
Yeah.
do. I do.
What do you think about the size of that story?
Well,
Impressive. Want to fit it inside myself.
Even if we can't finish it, let's just fucking go until we get burned out.
I think a lot of these paragraphs are like one sentence, so it actually won't be as long as it looks.
All right.
I put it in the chat.
This is Christmas Land.
This
by
is
Elias,
the story of a
by
land.
Elias
Elias
Withrow.
Elias
Who
Withrow.
said he had? Who gave him access to No Sleep?
I
That's
don't know.
restricted.
I guess maybe he thought it was a subreddit where he could get help with insomnia, maybe?
Mm.
And then he realized that people were telling their stories, so he was like, here's what makes me unable to sleep at night. So,
That's not true. He doesn't have sleeping problems. He's on a very regular schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this must be a different Elias Withrow.
It's Elias's pen name, but he still included his name in there on accident.
Maybe it's like a fan name. Like this guy's just a fan of Elias.
Oh, yeah. You know, I do know that there are a lot of Elias Kin out there since the show started. People identifying as him. So, all right. Puppy fight is late. I just want to point that out.
Hey, puppy fight.
So who's starting? Is it DP?
Yes.
Yes. This is Christmas Land. Christmas has always been a hard time for me. I never felt the warmth of family coming together or the anticipation of
Yes.
Opening gifts. I've never gone to midnight mass or experienced the thrill of sitting on Santa's lap and telling him what I want. I never helped my mother make gingerbread cookies or gone caroling. Yeah, nothing more exciting than going to a midnight mass.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I hate them.
Now, I think after we read this, we should finish off with another story. I actually saw this really cool Christmas story. It's called Blues for Boys. DP, I'm not sure if you like it, but...
Who was the author of that one again?
I don't know. Some random guy.
Slim Slam Bim Bam?
Slim Slam Bim Bam, yeah. So, Abysmoid.
But Christmas isn't hard because my life has lacked those holiday essentials. No, instead it's because of the memories that surround that annual celebration. The reminder of what I went through, of what I've seen.
I agree with Gavin Oswald. Sitting on Santa's Mass would be much more entertaining. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's my line. I'll take the next one, too. It happened when I was 6. I was living with my mother. My father was out of the picture. Just a hateful name on my mother's tongue. I never met the guy. And to be honest, I never wanted to. He was Krampus. Why would I want to develop a relationship with someone who abandoned my mother and I after I was born?
So it was just the two of us. Two quiet souls just trying to make the most of our meager lives. We lived in a small house on the edge of town. My mother worked 2 jobs and couldn't afford a sitter, so I spent a lot of time alone in the house. I really hope that this turns into Home Alone.
I thought you were going to say homosexual porn or something like that. I was like, what?
I mean... Macaulay Culkin is a bit of a twinky twunk.
Has there been Home Alone, a XXX parody?
Oh, probably.
Homobone.
Oh, yeah.
She made me swear secret. I thought.
She made me swear.
I thought it said she made me swear sorcery off. Don't you be doing no sorcery when I'm gone.
Don't you be doing no sorcery. God damn it.
She made me swear secrecy and not tell anyone at school because she was afraid social services would take me away. Looking back, they probably would have if they found out. Yeah,
Yeah. But they never did. And I spent a lot of time in a world of make-believe. I had to. We didn't have a television.
Like that time I beat up those people trying to invade my house.
I rigged a paint can up above our non-existent second floor. We didn't have a television or even a radio, so if I wanted to escape somewhere, it had to be in my head. I didn't mind because I didn't know any better. I spun worlds and characters, imaginary friends, and silly things that little boys fantasize about.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I learned the joys of being a furry.
I played with the rats under the stairs. I fashioned myself a rat costume. All right.
I became the Rat King.
Yes. I'd come home from school, make myself some cheese and crackers, the kind of cheese you squirt from a can, and launch into my world of make-believe. I was a space rat, a pirate, a soldier rat. No, I was a space warrior, a pirate, a soldier.
Junkrat.
A junkrat. Anything I could think of. I'd run around the house fighting aliens or the enemy, shooting at them with imaginary guns or fighting them back with invisible swords.
It's racist.
Wait,
You know how he did
no.
that? See, what he was doing is he would get out the crackers and the canned cheese, and he would spray some cheese onto the crackers, and while he was eating it, he would do some whippets.
Yeah,
Mhm.
of course.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think
Would
this
they,
is
would
really...
they be whippets?
Mhm.
Would they be whippets if you're doing it with canned cheese, or would they be Cheez-Its?
Probably would be Cheez-Its. Now we know where they got the name.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is really racist because, you know, aliens in general are probably bad and awful and evil. I think Abysme is just one of the good ones. He's very well spoken, you know?
Yeah, I've always thought that.
Yeah.
Is gainfully employed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he's a lawyer.
Yeah, exactly. So
Discontinuing this line of thinking before it gets worse.
DP.
I hardly know you.
God damn it.
Eventually, the sun would disappear. Where's the sun
Yeah.
keep going?
Christmas from the old Aramaic, the sun shall die this day.
Eventually, the sun would set, and I would end up asleep in my bed. That's how things go. My mother would come home around 10, check on me, kiss me on the cheek, and then rush back out to her other job, which kept her busy until after 3 a.m.
Damn.
Her mom's Krampus. Okay, cool.
Okay, female dominatrix Krampus. Are we on board with that?
Oh,
or?
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hitting you with the
It's
birch
like-
branches.
Hit me with your hickory sticks.
Put me in your drowning tub. So you see, she didn't have a lot of time for me. She didn't have time to get us a Christmas tree or decorate our house or anything. Christmas was just another day for me. But God, I wanted it to be so much more. I got so jealous listening to the kids at school talk about their presents, the sleigh ride they went on, their visit to Santa at the mall. I became hungry for those things. I wanted them more than anything else. I wanted to play in the snow and come rushing back inside to a cup of hot cocoa and listen to jingle bells while I warmed myself by the fire. It was all so festive, so magical.
Are online horror fiction writers a bunch of shut-ins? Game theory.
Yep. Not a theory, that's fucking true. Facts.
Now, I'm not telling you these things for you to pity me. I don't care about that. I'm telling you this so you understand why I did what I did. About why I went to Christmas Land.
Pom pom pom.
I stirred in my bed and listened to my mom shut the front door behind her. My cheek was still damp from her kiss, and I knew she had just left to go to her second job.
God damn it, she's always just, you know, drinking and then kissing him and just letting it spill all over his face. It's disgusting.
Spilling her hot cocoa all over his blankie.
There's no hot cocoa because I can't afford it.
She gets a mouthful of hot cocoa that she, you know, has from a coffee cup that she got at a drive-thru, and goes to kiss him, and she's like, "Oh, that's too hot." I was like, "Sorry, kid. Sorry, but that was a little too hot for my mouth."
Nothing personal.
Yeah.
I rubbed sleep from my eyes and bundled up in my covers. It was cold. My breath, uh, pluming
Yeah, blooming.
out
But
before me.
plumbing would have been funnier.
Blah. Mom must not have been able to pay the heating bill this month.
A lot of cold kids on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one Christmas our power went out, and I was so like I've never been the cold never bothered me anyway. I've never been a person who's been very bothered by cold, and I just didn't realize how fucking cold it would get without heating.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Like my cuticles on my nails just started bleeding spontaneously.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
It's like shit.
And that's where DP picked up his fetish.
Bleeding cuticles.
Bleeding cuticles.
Hey everyone, hit me on Discord and private messages. Show me pictures of bleeding cuticles.
Do it. Actually do it. Hold him to that. All right.
They call me Bleeding Cuticles Murphy.
No. We already had Krampus Simpson. All right, so Abysme, I believe.
Yeah. As I tried to go back to sleep, my mind wandered. It was only a couple days until Christmas, and I dreaded listening to everyone at school gloat about their presents and all the cool stuff they got. I'm going to take the next one. Buried under my blankets, I started to drift. The house was silent and dark. My bedroom door opened to reveal the barren living room.
Aw. Hey! Want to see my... Hey kid. The voice shattered the serenity like a hammer on glass, and my eyes shot open. My heart began to race in my chest as I tried to determine if I had imagined the voice or not. Mom had just left. I was supposed to be alone. Home Alone 2. Pig in the City.
Electric Boogaloo.
Psst. Hey, kid, come over here. You want to see a dead body? I sat up, breathing fast.
You want to see a dead body? Sir, that's just a mirror. Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
I sat up and angry.
Yeah, no!
Oh, God. I sat up, breathing fast. I had imagined at that time. It was a male voice, low and deep but inviting. Ooh, very twunky. It had come from the living room.
It's Jeff from the Overwatch team.
It's okay. I just want to talk to you for a second about Overwatch.
So we noticed a lot of players are very upset with their houses being cold, so we're making some adjustments, making houses warmer, lighting the houses on fire.
Swallowing hard, I slid off my bed and tiptoed to my door. I peeked around the corner, trying to see through the black. Had Mom brought a friend over and left him there? Oh, God.
It's just a black guy standing there trying to see through him.
Jesus Christ.
I thought about turning on a light, but for some reason the thought scared me. What if I didn't want to see whoever was out there? What if it wasn't one of Mom's friends?
I think we can
Did you fuck my mom, Santa?
Yeah. This
Did
is
you
Charlie.
fuck my mom?
I think we can understand that, though, that feeling of, if I turn the light on, then I'm going to have to look at what's out there. I would rather just pretend there's nothing. But yeah.
Yeah.
Over here, by the fireplace. I squinted toward the ashy, empty space against the wall. I didn't see anyone. Is it the elf on the shelf? I was a mess of trembling nerves as I crept towards where the voice had come from, keeping my head on a swivel. I'll just take the next two since they're short. I stopped in front of the fireplace, scratching my head. That's better. I'm up here.
I jumped, taking a step back as the voice echoed from the chimney. As I settled myself, my mind began to spin. Who was up there? And how had they gotten there? The only person I knew who went down the chimney was Santa.
Yeah.
Both Christmas stories we've read have had strong elements of Mr. Widemouth.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Whitebeard.
Yeah. Fear subsiding, I knelt down and cocked my head up under the fireplace to look up the chimney. Dangling from the darkness was a long, charred hand. It hung motionless like a dead pendulum. Long fingers hung like silent chimes, the skin as dark as soot. The hand was attached to an incredibly thin wrist that disappeared into the black.
All right, the story is racist.
Mm. Hey, kid, the hand said from no visible orifice.
I just stared at it, mouth dropping open. What the heck was this? How was a hand talking to me? And what was it doing in my house? You're pretty brave, not running away, the hand continued, still motionless in the air. Most kids see me and book it. Not you, though. You're a real tough guy, huh? I don't know why we're committing to that voice, I would assume, right?
Yeah, it's funny, though.
Okay.
Oh, listen.
Oh,
no. Oh, man. My mind. So I've only received one picture of bleeding cuticles. I don't know what's going on here. But thank you, Puppy.
Was it one picture of multiple fingers, though?
There are two that are bleeding, yeah. Anyway, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Well, where are we at?
I shrugged.
Still not sure. I was awake and listening to a hand in my chimney. Well, let me go to the chase. I heard you like Christmas. Is this true?
By the way, DP, have you ever had a hand in your chimney?
Yeah. Who hasn't?
I told the hand it was. Still unmoving, the hand continued.
Soot job. There we go.
Soot job. Well, that's great, because I have a surprise for you. If you want your Christmas, you can keep it. I can take you to a magical place called Christmas Land. In Christmas Land, it's always snowing, just like the North Pole. Not only that, there's also hundreds of dazzling
Free
Christmas
healthcare.
trees.
There's an individual mandate that you have healthcare.
Yeah.
Now, if you're unemployed, you're going to have to pay a penalty. Trees like you've never seen, and Christmas lights all through the sky. Oh, they're beautiful. Christmas Land is full of little boys and girls just like you. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Don't you want to see it?
Crab cakes, Christmas care. Crabs cakes, Christmas care.
So the user Crab Cakes has said Christmas Scare.
For context.
I'm picking up a very heavy vibe of, don't you want your balloon?
Yeah.
Don't you want it, Georgie? Don't you want it? It says get well soon. You're not injured yet, but you will be.
I don't remember that scene from It last year.
It last year? That should be the title. That should be the change. They should change it to It last year. Yeah.
It present day.
I do remember the line from It last year. I think it was just guttural screaming and hollering of a monster creature that's not anything more than a CGI jump scare. Still unmoving, the hand continued. Well, that's great, because I have a surprise for you. If you want, I can take you to a magical place. Oh, wait. Why didn't you tell me we already read this?
I was enjoying the narration.
Yeah.
God damn it. I got distracted. By whatever the fuck we were talking about that I don't remember now.
Now listen, I lost track of where I was in my teleprompter.
DP?
You can't hold me accountable for that.
I hate rereading paragraphs twice.
DP? Abysme? Don't ruin this for me. I shifted in my empty living room, curiosity pushing aside fear. That did sound good. That sounded like exactly what I wanted. For the first time, I had hope, and there might be change. As strange as the offer was, as bizarre as circumstances I found myself in, I felt pulled to comply. It was a nagging in my head, a whisper behind the voice I heard. I bit my lip and thought about my mom. Okay, it's a bit odd to do that right now. She wouldn't be home for a couple hours. She didn't have to know.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, would a kid... Okay, let's be real here. As dark and as real as this may be, would a kid trust a burned person?
Depends on the kid.
Depends on the kid. Okay, Sargon, that's fine.
Damn it. God damn it.
Well, it depends on the child, doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh, goddamn. So, I, as a child, would definitely not.
Eye of the child. It's the.
It's the thrill of the desolation. I think maybe if the hand had enticed him a bit more with, like, you really want to stay here where it's so cold when you could be in a nice warm Christmas land?
It's so hot it'll take the skin right off you.
So your interpretation is like the matchstick girl? Lindsay Canary, you guys are my favorite. Thank you.
Aw, you're our favorite.
Appreciated.
Gavin, are you saying you don't trust black people, DP? I do, but I can tell you the first experience I ever had seeing a black person in real life.
Okay, yeah, I remember you telling me about this. Okay, so it happened last year. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was in a grocery store, and there just weren't a lot of black people where I grew up. And I had seen The Cosby Show and saw, like I never watched it, but I know what Bill Cosby looks like. And there was an old black man in the grocery store, and I was like, "Mom's Bill Cosby."
Oh, no.
Oh.
Luckily, he thought it was hilarious, so it was fine. Anyway.
There are so many jokes you could make out of that, and none of them are appropriate for a variety of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Where were we?
DP used to trust black people until he met Bill Cosby.
We're at the hand swayed gently.
Yeah.
Like Jell-O. The hand swayed gently. I promise I can have you back before your mom gets home. Don't you want to see you want to see the lights, don't you?
Lolly it. God damn it. New canon. DP doesn't trust non-whites.
Oh. Okay, that's the canon we're going with?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. By popular audience demand.
Okay. I guess I can learn to deal with that.
Oh, gosh.
As far as I know, neither of you have black friends, so that's not fair.
Aw. Well, I mean, I don't really know the race of a lot of my friends. Because it's internet shit.
Mm.
Yeah, because you're colorblind.
Yeah. Yeah.
The hand swayed gently. I promise to have you back before your mom gets home. You want to see the lights, don't you? You want to play in the snow?
That I did. And honestly, I was so desperate to experience Christmas that it didn't take much time to convince me. It didn't take much to convince me. I told the hand I would come, making a promise to take me back before 3. It promised. Smiling hesitantly, I reached up and grabbed the hand, which was now opening its fingers. On contact, I felt something jolt through me like a quick blast of icy wind. I gasped, and I heard the hand whisper something to itself from the darkness.
What?
Oh, boy.
What's the matter, DP?
Crap kicks. DP the twink doesn't trust black people. Oh, Christ.
So
I love the term. I love Jared's term of the Cosby incident.
We don't talk about the incident.
Oh, man. The pudding debacle. All right, so the whisper that was said...
I'll put you in your place. Putting you in your place.
What? You might want to clarify that when talking about people of color.
Putting you in your place.
Okay. So the whispered words were, "Take us!"
Yes.
Before I could respond, the hand gripped mine, and I was lifted off my feet in a rush. Darkness blasted around me, and I squinted, my eyes
Absolute
watering.
darkness, all that I see, blasting around me.
Pretty radical, actually. I could smell ash invade my nostrils. Pikachu! He shouted. I could smell ash invade my nostrils. The chimneys.
Bob,
Hmm?
sweep this chimney.
The chimney squeezing in tight around my shoulders. The hand never let go, and we just kept soaring up and up and up.
Mary Poppins, I've got another one for your sweatshop.
God damn it. A spoonful of methamphetamines makes production go faster.
I thought when you said another one, I thought you were going to do a mashup of DJ Khaled and Mary Poppins.
Oh, I don't have the musical acumen to pull that off.
Did you see it when he was at like the Overwatch World Cup and he just kept like hitting play on a laptop over and over again?
Yeah, that's
For like
him.
For like 30 seconds. Oh my god.
God damn it.
Up too far. Up for far too long. We should have reached the end of the chimney by now. And then I audibly gasped as light exploded across my vision and heat rushed in to warm itself around me. I blinked, wind tearing my eyes, and I realized I was falling. I was falling fast, and the hand was nowhere to be seen.
Tearing your eyes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tearing his eyes out.
Okay.
Razor wings.
Tearing his eyes out. All that I see. Absolute blackness.
I don't see anymore.
I cannot see. I cannot see. I cannot see.
I started to
free.
scream, realizing I was falling towards the earth from high up, impossibly high up. And everything was wrong, all wrong. I expected to see my house, my neighborhood, a dark landscape below me, but what I fell towards was nothing like that.
This is Halloween. This is
Absolute
Halloween.
Cosby.
Absolute Cosby. Absolute Cosby. All that I see. Zippity zobbity. And everything, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah. I fell towards charred earth and dusty mountains. Dusty Mountains, by the way, is my favorite octogenarian porn star. I fell toward pits of fire and empty wasteland. I fell towards a mass of something wriggling and screaming. As terror poured out of my mouth, or from my mouth, hair slapped across my face. Okay. It was Willow Smith. I saw that I was falling toward a massive net dangling over the earth, filled with screaming children.
Hair slapped across my face. It was DP's elbow beards.
His L-beards?
When I registered what it was, I only had a second to cover my head before I smacked into them. My breath was crushed from my lungs, and I felt bones break under me as I made contact with other kids.
Okay, I hate to interrupt you in mid-paragraph, but I should take a moment to step back and say that this is an interesting story, and this is a horrifying visual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is kind of cool that he was tempted with Christmas land, but he's clearly in some hellish landscape and accepted an offer that he really shouldn't have.
No, kid, I said you were coming with me to Christless land.
Okay, so I'm of two minds about the opening, though. On one hand, it's unnecessary, and on the other hand, it is setting the scene. I don't know. I think that maybe the beginning could have been a little more exciting because I was kind of lukewarm about that.
I think
also-
it just could have been a
okay.
bit shorter, maybe.
Yeah.
I also want to point out, as we fall into the land of children in nets, this is on No Sleep, where every story is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt my shoulders scream with... What? I felt my shoulders scream with pain. So he has mouths in his shoulders, and they're like...
No.
They have little beards.
Like my dogs are barking. I see your feet are tired. I can see that.
Abysme, you have dogs?
Space dogs.
Sure.
Space dogs, okay.
Don't question it.
How do your space dogs feel about black people?
Well, they bark at anything that has more than one leg, so they probably wouldn't like them either.
So one-legged black people, they're okay with.
They're not a threat.
Okay, guys, which sounds more like a movie you would watch? Space dogs or one-legged black people? Which is the holiday hit of the summer?
Holiday.
Oh, God.
Yes. Oh, this is fucking terrible.
I want to see the movie about the homophobic twink. I felt my shoulder scream with pain, and I wriggled on top of the pile as my hands reached for me. Tried to pull me under. Tried to get on. Tried to get me off. Tried to get me off of them. Just tried to get me.
Okay, can I just say something? Jared Bumblecrum said, "Honestly, are we sure this child isn't Krampus's kid? He has shoulder mouths." Now, YouTube blocked that as offensive until it was reviewed by moderators. Why?
I can't understand why it does the things it does. Faces stared up at me, terrified. Tears streaked my streaked faces.
So many tears. Oh.
Absolute tears. All that I see, streaking faces.
Confusion and horror crash together in my young mind like two trains on the same track. But if one leaves at 3 o'clock from Cincinnati, no, I didn't know where I was, what was happening, or what I had just fallen into. I kicked at the hands grabbing me, frantic to be feared from their touch. Frantic, tick, 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 tock.
It's just all the Metallica songs. I remember when I was little, there like Nickelodeon cartoons had this weird thing where they loved all math problems in high school on cartoons would just be like, a train leaves a station, blah blah blah, and like they would use like jokes about how that's really hard math over and over again. And then, like, I found out that you could actually calculate that shit, and my mind was blown.
But Nickelodeon said it was impossible. There were
If this teen actress can take off her shoes in 2 minutes, and this teen actress can throw her dirty socks across the room, how has this man not been fired yet for sexual assault?
Oh, true. There were hundreds of kids below me, most of them crushed and dead from the weight of those above. I rolled over and pressed my face against the mesh. Could you do that if there are kids between you and the mesh?
Yeah, I got the impression that he fell into like this huge pile, and he can't really feel the net, but whatever.
Another kid in the kid pile.
Yeah. Looking below us, blood dripped from the bottom of the net, and I could hear the slow grind of breaking bones in the air.
I can hear them breaking in the air tonight.
Oh, God!
And then the net began to move. I gripped it and pulled myself into a standing position, face pressed against the fibers, desperate to see where I was. Sorry, burpee. The vision that awaited me still haunts me to this day.
We were hanging above a vast plain of red earth. Foothills rolled below us, empty of forest or foliage. Rock formations jutted from cuts in the dirt like emerging infections. Sharp angles and dangerous surfaces. Ash rained from a crimson sky as he rode his Charizard. A constant curtain of never-ending flakes. Looked like snow.
Say what?
It looked like snow.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. When I didn't say it, and I wish I had said it before. When the burned hand was saying it's snowing all the time, my first thought was Ash.
Yeah.
I wish I had said it before, because now I just look like a liar. Walking across the expansive plains were dozens of towering, naked, sexless humans. So, furries?
The future
well,
of
no, they're
girls
naked.
want.
They rose hundreds of feet in the air, all silent, with eyes that looked glazed over as if they were asleep. They were rhythmic in their movement, order to their steps. They worked together all across the horizon, bringing down nets and emptying them into colossal piles.
Giant naked sexless humans. Is this what's that anime?
No, that
SNK.
was actually a cartoon in the 1980s. You never saw that?
No.
Towering naked sexless humans, towering naked sexless humans. Splinter taught them to be naked humans.
Oh boy.
Leonardo's naked. Donatello is a human. Oh God.
Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Which apparently in Japanese is a series of words, but it stands for the abbreviation of it is SNK, and people got super pissed off who are SNK fans of like the video games because they're like, God damn it, Attack on Titan sounds really cool. Stop invading our hashtags on Tumblr. Dozens and dozens of human mountains scattered across the horrific world, bleeding charns that screamed and howled in the wind. I don't know how to say that word. How do you say that word?
I always say Karen, but I don't know if that's correct or not.
Karen's what I say as well.
Karen from accounting was bleeding and screaming and howling in the wind.
I'm not too. I don't care too much. There's something there. Anyway, I watched in devastated horror as the children were emptied from the nets and tumbled down the piles, still fighting to get away. Even as they did, one of the enormous humans would come forward and kick them back, killing them in the process.
I love that visual.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, these gigantic, naked, sexless humans emptying kids out, the kids trying to run away or fight back, and them just like going, duh, and just kicking the pile, like, get back out of there. Oh, man.
The piles, when the piles were high enough, an enormous blazing rock was set on top of them to begin a slow burn down the mountain of flesh. See, that's what you want to do.
It's like a fucking heavy metal album cover or something. Yeah. This is awesome.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, is a lot of human flesh is very fatty. And with fatty, you want to go low and slow for roasting. And putting a bunch of, like, hot charcoals on top of the children is going to bring them to temperature and cook them too quickly. So this is just poor form.
Well, heat rises, so I mean...
I know, but they're putting the rocks on top of the kids. Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. So
well, no, they're probably not trying to eat them. They're probably just trying to cause assloads of pain.
Mm-hmm, yeah, get rid of the joke. Yeah, just abandon the joke I'm going for. Okay.
Abandoned by joke.
Hey, DP, I have a better joke than your terrible, stupid one we should get rid of. Hey, can you guys smell what the rock is cooking?
That's good.
Oh, that's funny.
But it wouldn't be cooking them well.
I do like the visuals of it, though, because it's one of those things where you read stories or you see TV shows or you see movies where something random and insane happens, and you know that they're just trying to come up with something random and insane out of their ass. This story has, like, nonsensical things happening, but it feels like it means something in their universe.
Yeah, it does. I can feel a logic even if I don't understand it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard about Hell's Kitchen, but this is ridiculous.
God damn.
Yeah, this is like if Hieronymus Bosch had done design work for Adult Swim. Yes, very true, Gavin.
Oh, Bosch would fit very well in with Adult Swim if he were alive today, for sure. In a sick way, it reminded me of a star atop a Christmas tree, the orange and red stone lighting the pile with disturbing color. As it burned away the bodies, a thick black smoke wafted from the death and rose up and up, high into the sky. My bloodshot eyes followed the dozens of plumes of smoke towards the heavens, and for a second time, my breath was robbed from my lungs. Take my breath, rob my breath away.
Stretching across the expanse of sky, from horizon to horizon, was an absolutely titanic human body. It was naked, like those below, but its skin was pale, almost white. It had no face and wore a suit. No. Its hairless torso, it's a twink! It's the all-twink.
The all-twink?
Yeah. Its hairless torso peeked in and out of the black smoke and cloud cover, winking down at us from an impossible height. Its head was bald, and its moon-sized eyes were closed and unmoving. Its mouth was a long line across its face, a pasty trench of overwhelming size. Pasty Trench, by the way, another of my favorite strippers.
Slender Man would be a twink.
And it just hung above us all, still and silent. Peeking around the colossal body was the broken remains of a destroyed galaxy. Half-a-light planets and stars hung miserably across the vermilion heavens. Entire worlds cracked and crumbling through the solar system like blazing comets. And that's when I noticed something.
Luckily, I had a gun.
I pulled out my gun and then bang. I noticed the motionless body in the sky was absorbing. I noticed the motionless body in the sky was absorbing all the smoke and death through its nostrils, like black holes sucking in all matter. And the more it breathed in, the more it began to take on color. They were trying to wake this thing back up, revive it from whatever state it had fallen into. I have no idea what this has to do with Christmas Land or A Christmas Story, but I'm kind of okay with it.
The best part of waking up is dead kids burned by rocks. I think if I were to venture to guess, and maybe this will be covered later in the story and I could be entirely wrong. My guess is that kids are brought to this world in a variety of ways all across years and decades. And it's just that this specific kid was, lured in with the promise of Christmas Land.
But why are all the kids white?
Because Whitey's got to pay, and the payment is baby hands.
Yeah.
All right, so where are we now?
Death, no state.
It's your turn at before I could even.
Before I couldn't even. Before I could even digest all of this, our net dropped, and I was falling once again. Yeah. I heard my voice join the others, screaming, howling. We were being emptied onto a new pile of children. I hit the squirm... Hey! Do you like piles of children? Try a new child box. Comes in a net. I hit the squirming mass with a thud and felt myself slide and somersault down it. I executed a perfect landing. 10.10. The hands clawed at me as I tumbled, rolling further down, until finally I was at the base of the Flesh Mountain. The ground shook as one of the massive, sexless humans approached carrying a blazing boulder. All right.
Me and 3 other children began to run, hauling away from the pile as fast as we could. I didn't know where, but in the distance I saw spires. I head towards them. Weird present tense there.
Yeah, I mean, that's most likely a typo, headed. But...
Yeah.
The giant holding the boulder kicked us, and 2 of my companions were destroyed instantly.
I love that visual.
That really is a funny. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
He kicks
Fuck
the kids.
you.
He kicks the kids, and they just explode like balloons.
It's an awesome video game.
Oh man.
Tears pouring from my face. I ran and ran and ran. I
think
ran
you
so
mean-
far away.
I think you mean tears pouring from your
Tears
face.
pouring. I could hear roaring behind me, a great bellow of fury at my escape. I didn't stop, didn't care that I couldn't breathe, didn't notice the burning in my throat as I inhaled ash and soot. The ground shook and fire blazed, and hell was all around me.
Bum, bum, bum. The spires formed definition, and I realized as I sprinted closer that they were chimneys sprouting from the earth like broken tunnels. Hundreds and hundreds of chimneys of all shapes and sizes. Okay, so this is where he came from. So I was wrong. People are led through chimneys to this world.
Yeah.
Together.
Welcome to the Chimneyverse.
Chimneyscape.
Bum, bum,
Chimneyscape.
Sony Pictures launching their shared Chimneyverse cinematic universe. Together they formed a field of stone and brick stretching for acres and acres. Nets hovered above them from spikes the size of skyscrapers. All right.
Why are you turning into comic guy?
Worst Christmas land ever.
As I approached the chimneys, I noticed that the children were shooting out of them like bullets,
I fucking love it.
only to fall into the waiting nets. It's just like a batting cages.
Yeah.
It's not intended to be comical, but the image is.
See, you have to have a little absurdity and humor in your, terrifying, absurdist, alternate reality hellscapes. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like Mario coming in and out of the pipes.
Yes.
Oh.
If he enters one of the chimneys and ends up in a warp zone, that's going to be fantastic. Abysme, I believe.
Is it me? Where am I?
In California. I didn't have time.
Okay. I didn't have time to feel sorry for them as I reached the edge of the chimney fields. I didn't know what I was doing, didn't have a plan. I just needed to escape this nightmare. Tears rolling down my cheeks. I scrambled up the shortest chimney I could find, brick licking my skin and drawing blood. Brick licking, the new craze. Are your kids doing it?
Kids are calling it brick licking, and it's corroding foundations across the country.
A crumbling infrastructure. My ruined fingers dug into tiny holes, and I pulled myself up, weeping until I was sitting at the lip and looking down into empty darkness below. Sobbing, I said a prayer and took one last look behind me.
The Titan in the sky. We're just calling them Titans. Attack on Titans.
Yeah.
The Titan in the sky.
Let's just be real with what they are.
Yeah. The Titan in the sky had opened its eyes. Wind suddenly whipped across my face, and suddenly I was deafened by a great roar that shook the heavens. Zibbity-zobbity, I'm awake, said the Titan.
It was Katy Perry.
Oh, God. No.
Giant, genderless Katy Perry.
Isn't that just Katy Perry? The giants below fell to their knees, hands upraised, as the very vault of their universe began to open and shift, shaking reality in an explosion of color and sound.
Did either of you watch the movie Mandy?
No.
Mandy.
Recent horror film, like indie. It was like got famous at Sundance, and
yeah, basically Christopher Walken stars as a hitman on his final job. He has to team up with a CGI chipmunk.
Oh yeah, you know.
Yeah.
No, that's called The Expendables.
No, that's called Wreck-It Ralph.
It's The Aristocrats.
But yeah, Mandy has a lot of like kind of weird psychedelic, heavy metal imagery in it, and this feels very similar. It's just I don't know, it's focuses less on substance of story and more just of experience, and I kind of like it.
It's like when Spawn gets sent down to hell.
Oh God.
What if the Spawn reboot with Jamie Foxx has him brought to hell by rocketing like a bullet out of a chimney?
I'd be okay with it.
And then he tries to get up, and a big giant comes over and just kicks him repeatedly.
Kicks him in the face.
Yes.
No, I'd be okay with that.
Where are we at?
Gripping.
Gripping and ripping. Gripping the top of the chimney, screaming into the gale, I rolled forward into the open jaws of darkness. I fell tumbling down. I fell down, deep into the long neck of the chimney, and listened to the world end and be reborn behind me. I fell until all I knew was darkness.
I didn't see light until I was already a man.
Absolute darkness surrounding me.
Batman.
With the jello and the pudding and the zippity-zoppity. Rudy!
You know of the darkness, but I was born in it. Only saw it,
Wait a minute.
imprisoning me.
Wait a
I
minute. Is
was-
this turning
I was-
racist?
I was born in the darkness. You've merely visited it when I put roofalins into your pudding.
Oh, God. Roofalins?
That's what Bane thinks roofies are. How do you say roofalins?
Well, I
Wait,
mean,
aren't roofies roofalins?
well, I don't think we should discuss how well we know roofie terminology.
Or rohypnol. Like, I don't know. I don't know. That's what I know roofies to be short for, rohypnol.
Up on the roofalins. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 Bill Cosby.
Jesus Christ.
Just
No, Jared.
yes.
Oh, Jared Bumblecrub, no.
No. Goodbye, ever being monetized.
Susan Wojcicki,
Limited
when you watch
ad month,
this.
all that I see.
Absolute pudding. Oh
All right.
boy. Okay.
Absolute pudding.
I think it's Slimebee's turn.
Okay. Is it really?
No.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. When I eventually woke, I was lying in the middle of the road, surrounded by police, paramedics, and a very concerned crowd. Red lights flashed across my blurred vision, and I blinked back black. Blinked back black. Jack Black.
I blinked Jack Black.
I was Jack Black.
Blackjack jump scare.
So, coming out of the chimney from your fireplace, but then you go back in the chimney and you end up in a random street?
I guess. Yeah.
Questions rained down on me, as well as kicks and batons. Worried voices that became jumbled to form a roar of noise. I looked down at myself and saw I was covered in blood and ash, my clothes hanging from my body in burned shreds. It's a cool visual.
Uh-huh. So all of it was real.
Yeah.
I fought against paramedics trying to shove an oxygen mask over my face and screamed for my mother, fear and horror consuming me. I blacked out soon after. I awoke a few days later in the hospital bed, my mother terror-streaked face staring down at me. Mercifully, she held her questions back. Instead, she hugged me tight and kissed my face, whispering her love and how she wouldn't be able to afford the hospital bill.
Listen. I tried to help you out. The Republicans blocked me. What do you want me to do?
All you had to do was stay in Christmas land.
Yeah.
And then no more hospital bills.
Got all these giant people kicking children. But I will say that I am slightly disappointed.
Now,
Oh, go
some
ahead.
of you are going to be wondering how we're going to pay for all of this free healthcare. And the answer is chimney child death pits.
Chimney child death pits.
If
Now,
the
if
kids
you'd
are
like your
dying, then they can't rack up hospital bills.
That's right.
if you'd like your children, you can keep your children, but they need to stay in the chimneyverse.
So I am slightly disappointed.
Okay.
I was hoping, if you're entering a random chimney, I was hoping it was going to be something like I came rolling out of the chimney, I was, burned and bloody and all that, and I saw a family I didn't recognize, and they started frantically, yelling and talking to each other in German or something. Like, would you really come out in your own neighborhood on your street with your mother there? I mean, you're going in a random portal. I don't know.
Well, it does also have kind of the logic and consistency of a fairy tale. You were going to go back home. You had to go through hell to do it. So it is very coincidental and convenient, but I guess that's kind of what the story's going for.
Well,
Yeah. Exploding children. Where are we at?
I fought.
Uh,
I fought against.
What? Oh,
I raged against the
No.
machine.
no, we already read that.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. It's
It
midnight.
Wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't until I was released a few days later that I was told what had happened. According to the people who found me, I suddenly appeared in the middle of the highway, a highway 3 states over from my house and home.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Now it's just slightly less coincidental, but
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Aw.
It was a miracle someone didn't hit me with their car. My mom took me home and for years didn't ask questions. She knew something horrible had happened to me, and I think she always suspected someone had come and snatched me from my bed and dumped me in the road. I let her believe that despite the contradicting timeline.
All right, contradicting timeline. So they're living in the Mandela chimney universe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I've never fully recovered mentally from that night. How could I? I witnessed something no man was ever supposed to process memory of. I saw something that defied everything. Where had I been taken? Where was it now? Was it some distant future or some alternate plane of existence? And just was that and just what was that thing in the sky? And where was it now? Check
What are
part
these-
2.
Part
What are
1 of
these-
7.
What are these weird meaningless questions at the end? Of like, where is it now? Where was I? Like, is this the distant future or the past? Like, why would you think it's the future or the past? Why?
Is
It's
the
almost-
giant Sky Titan purple guy?
It's kind of like us trying to assume the questions the readers will be asking, but yeah, not once did I say, "Oh, is this an alternate future or something?" Like that doesn't matter. It's a weird chimneyscape, and that's enough.
I think that the chimney part of it, the chimneyscape part of it, is disconnected from the creepy soot hand that pulled the child in. And I don't know. I guess one is like the beginning part is very personable because it's tempting the child and it's an active voice, and the voice has a personality to it. And then the actual chimney thing is very impersonal, and we don't get any. I'm not sure what I'm saying here. I'm kind of rambling anyway.
Let's see. I'm just looking back at the description of Christmas Land from the Burning Hand. It's always snowing, which is ash. There's dazzling Christmas trees like you've never seen. There's the spires of rock.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas lights all throughout the sky, which is the stars.
Mm-hmm.
It's full of little boys and girls just like you, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Yeah, I see your
it is, consistent, you know what I mean?
It was a good deception for
Yeah.
sure.
See, that's the thing. I think that it's interesting to compare this to the previous story we read. Because we know we're being deceived in this story,
Mhm.
but we can't predict what's coming up, and it is entertaining.
Yeah.
The story with Icy Dice, by Icy Dice, which is not a bad story. I'm not saying anything like that. It sort of had that thing where you were trying to predict what the answer would be, and of course, you knew what it would be because, the deception was the deception where it was like, bet you won't guess who the father is, and we're kind of like the Grinch, Krampus. It's going to be, just by nature of, reality and folklore, it's
Yeah.
going to be one of the things we, guess. So, I mean,
And it kind of takes away from the enjoyment of the story when you're just kind of sitting around going, who is it? Oh, there's a clue. Who is it? Whereas with this story, it was kind of just a wild ride through this hellscape of child murder and fire and shit. And, questions are kind of not needed because you're just being slowly fed weird ass imagery. And personally, I prefer that. Yeah.
I think with the previous
I agree.
story... Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I agree. I'm also confused as to why the story, at the bottom, not at the top, has a trigger warning, and the trigger warning is of nothing.
Trigger warning, Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, I think with the previous story, I think, in our usual thing where I give stupid ideas, if it had been more about the child disliking or even hating his father, like being like, you know, my dumb dad who would go out and, you know, go visit other children, and my dumb dad who would, you know, spend all year working toward Christmas Day, and, you know, my awful, neglectful dad who, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, then it would read, I think, like, oh, this is like an alternate take on Santa Claus. You know, and, oh, I wonder if this will end with him, you know, hitting Santa over the head with something, or, you know, like some kind of, you know, big climactic ending where he's going to be mean to Santa. But, you know, then you realize at the end, oh, it's Krampus. Oh, okay. You know, so I think you almost need, like, misdirection on top of the misdirection. You know? Like, I don't know. Because, you know, when you know you're being misdirected, you're going to try to guess, you know, what's going on. But it's not a bad story, like I said, and...
No.
You know, whatever. Whatever, you know what I'm saying?
All right, what are we doing now?
I don't know.
We've
how long
been
we've been
going
streaming?
for a couple hours.
Oof. All right,
Yeah.
Christmas carols?
I gotta go. I got shit I gotta do.
You gotta go?
I gotta go. Fuck you.
Fuck off. Yeah, I have to go, like, prepare for traveling and shit.
Prepare for trialing because you're a lawyer? Okay, cool.
Yes.
The trial's settled, so fuck off. I don't have to do it anymore.
Well, with all your lawyer being a lawyer.
Just throw lawyer at it.
Yeah.
That'll fix it.
What with all your lawyering, lawyer?
Very important plug. Please do take part in this social experiment on Twitter.
God damn it. So
I want to make sure.
For anybody watching this days, weeks, months, years from now, DP has a poll on Twitter whether you like Ariana Grande or Colonel Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Surprise!
Important.
Colonel Sanders is going to win. Surprise!
It's very important.
Yeah.
And then do send me pictures of bleeding cuticles.
The question is, what is the ship name for Colonel Sanders and Ariana Grande?
Colonel Grande?
Okay. Fucking... See, if this were an episode of the Fear Fiction podcast, it would end there, but no.
No. You look behind the scenes, people.
So, is there anything we want to say to everybody before we leave? By the way, everybody, we're leaving. We're done. It's going to be over in a few minutes, so...
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming out, and happy holiday season greetings, whatever the hell.
Merry Kwanzaa, special Hanukkah,
Felice Yuletide,
uneventful Christmas, I don't know.
Festivus.
Ariana Sanders.
Did you know that a Christmas tradition in Japan is going to get KFC? I didn't make that up. It's true.
I can see that.
I will say thank you to our authors who we got to critique their stories and everything. That was fun.
Yep.
Have good holidays. I know holidays aren't easy for everyone. And I guess if holidays aren't easy for you, sucks to be you.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Ladies and gentlemen, the second place where we would have ended if this was the Fear Fiction podcast. All right, so I have my cursor hovering over the stop stream button. I just need to know that you guys aren't going to say anything epic or hilarious.
Not epic or hilarious, but if holidays aren't easy for you, I hope that our stupid antics could give you a little bit of cheer. So yeah,
please write comments below telling us how this podcast and we as YouTubers have saved your life. It really does well to boost our egos as content creators.
Do subscribe, hit the bell, and there will be a episode proper up tomorrow.
Much like a giant titan kicking a kid, need you to destroy that like button and that subscribe button.